Hi, welcome to this preview video for Wish. Wish is a brand new game hitting crowdfunding soon, and it's a game that it's beautifully illustrated with the magnificent art of Meiko, a game that uses basic Eurogame mechanisms, I should say, that they're combined in a very elegant way to deliver a very exciting gaming experience, accessible for all, but with enough depth to keep players interested and ongoing. So the game takes us into the role of different and majestic and powerful djinns that were trying to fulfill different wishes for the players, for the people, let's say, for the wishing people. This could be from love wishes, from revenge wishes, from wealth, health wishes, etc. There are 6 different types of wishes that can be fulfilled. Players move their genie on the different locations of the board, trying to exploit the different possibilities that are offered. The game comes with a very interesting system. You can assign 3 action markers on the different sections on the board, but you can only select one or the other from each section, so you cannot do both. And you have to make let's say, a suitable match for your strategy. It's on every turn, and then take these actions depending on what you have selected. These actions could be from moving your djinn, from empowering, which means to take different crystals, which give you the ability to make those powerful, fulfilling requests. You can also build monuments or fulfill wishes for the different players, for different wishing people, by fulfilling, let's say, the cards and making them happy with giving them what they want. And then if you have enough of those, then they will erect a monument for your glory and for the testimony of what you have offered. And there are different ways basically to use those different combinations to try to time them correctly, so that you build a small little bit of engine with some abilities ongoing, some either instant or ongoing abilities from the wishes that you fulfill, and then with a sweet balance of maintaining the nice and the correct income of the different crystals by fulfilling the correct different cards and making a best out of it, a best synergy. And then by erecting and building monuments, together with the very distinct and asymmetric abilities of your special player board, your special djinn, then that gives a very interesting gaming experience. I had a blast playing the game. I really enjoyed how different each djinn feels from one another, whether it's the air djinn, the earth, the fire, or the water. They all feel very different because they have quite unique special ability, either ongoing or passive, that can be utilized any given time, and this gives a very interesting take to the game, a different feel if you're playing one or the other. Still, you're trying to achieve the same common goals, you know, the same common ideas, not the same exact goals. But also should mention another interesting thing, since I mentioned goals, you have a secret, let's say, destiny that you're trying to fulfill. One card, you take 2 and you choose one of the 2 to keep throughout the course of the game, hidden from the rest of the players, and this can give you a lot of extra additional victory points at the end of the game if played correctly. So join me at the table. I'll show you how the game plays. I will explain everything in detail. As always, I'm going to add timestamps in the description of the video where you can directly jump into the section that you're interested, whether it's components, whether it's a gameplay or the final scoring, etc. But also I'm going to add a link in the description of the video where you can visit the crowdfunding campaign page and find out more about Wish, which is coming to crowdfunding really soon. So let's see together how the game plays, and we'll be back at the end of this video for a final wrap up and my final opinion about the game. So let's see how it plays. Welcome to the magical realm of Wish. In this captivating board game, you and your fellow players embody powerful genies, being of ancient mystical energy, each with a unique purpose and destiny. Your task is to traverse the enchanting land, fulfilling wishes that span the spectrum of human desires, from love to revenge, from joyous cheer to boundless wealth, and so on. As you journey through this amazing world, gathering mystical crystals, forging bonds with immortal beings, and honing your special abilities, you'll unlock hidden powers that lie dormant within you. But that's not all. Your path to greatness involves erecting awe-inspiring monuments that showcase your immense power and might. Will you rise to fulfill your grandest desires, prove your prowess, and unveil your true destiny? Embark on this extraordinary quest of magic and wonder, and let the adventure of wish unveil the secrets that lie within you. May the journey be as enchanting as the dreams you make come true. So welcome to this preview video for Wish, a brand new game hitting crowdfunding soon. As always, I'm going to go in detail through explaining all the components and the rules of the game, how the game plays. I'm going to add timestamps so that you can follow quickly, and then come back up with my final opinion on the game. So let's familiarize ourselves with the components of the game. First of all, we have the main board, which is a fantastic piece of art from Miko. We love his work, and this is no exception to what he is capable of. Fantastic and vibrant colors, very, very vivid corners on each side of the map. We have 4 player boards. I have 2 of them already beneath this cover. This is the cover of Wish, the board game. And we have 2 genies already here. But let me show you the rest. These are really nice, beautifully illustrated boards with art from Miko again. We have 42 Wish cards. This is let's say the hood of the game, the engine. We're trying to fulfill these wishes. There are 3 already open as a part of an offer. This is the back of the Wish card. We're going to make a detailed breakdown of the anatomy of these cards, but if you want to focus more on the art and the details, you can see the detailed unboxing of the prototype that we've done. But this is a deck of Wish cards, and there are a total of 42. We also have 16 caravan cards. This deck of cards predicts and shows, because one is revealed each time, the way that the caravan moves. It can move 1, 0 or 2 spaces, starting from this space and going in a spiral mode, reaching its final destination to indicate the conclusion of the game. We have a total of 16 cards of those, and these are these green cards here. We also have these purple cards. These cards are the Destiny cards. At the beginning of the game, each player draws 2 of those, and they keep only 1. And this allows for additional victory points. So this is the icon of the victory points at the end of the game, considering that they have been fulfilled from the players, and earn them extra VPs. We also have 4 player aids. Each player has their own, in their own color, matching the color of their genie. And these are 2 examples of those. They have the iconography, which is very nice to have in a player aid, and also the abilities and the actions with the icons explained. 1 for each player. We also have 10 potion tokens and 10 trickery tokens. These are these tokens here. These are the trickery tokens, and these are the potion tokens. Essentially, these are tokens that allow players to have additional action points, and this can negate the color for fulfilling a wish card for the meeple person in place. We're going to see this later on. We have 24 wishing person meeples. These are these nice custom colored meeples, which indicate the different wishing person meeples. We have 1 caravan meeple. It starts from this location over here, and this is the caravan meeple. Allows possibilities for exchanging with the caravan when the genie is located in the same area. We have 16 victory points in different denominations that they are added together with the rest of the victory points that you're going to be scoring at the end of the game. We have 72 crystals, very nice shiny plastic crystals that are generated from the areas around the board. And we have 12 action markers, 3 for each player, that are going to indicate which 3 actions are going to be used. These are transparent, and the reason for that is because once you cover an icon in a column, you can only use one of the 2 action points, action symbols in each column. So 1, 2, 3, you use them to indicate on your player board, as we're going to see later, which actions you're performing. And these are also color coded, matching the color of your player board as well. In addition, we have 4 lock tokens, 1 for each player. This is located on the board as we speak now for each player board, and this locks additional column, which is removed once a player has fulfilled their 3rd wish. We have 4 genie standees. They start on the different corners of the board based on the setup. This is the water genie. This is the fire genie, starting over there. This is the air genie, and this is the Earth genie, the green one. Placing them sideways just for the camera to pick them up for the moment, to be obvious. Normally they are standing upwards. We have, in addition to that, some special tokens. We have one nest token, which is linked with the special ability of the green genie. We have, for example, some fiery clone tokens, which are these ones for the fire token, for the fire genie. It has two. These are linked with their special ability. And also some frost tokens and some air tokens with the respective white and blue genie accordingly. We also have different custom wonders and towers. We have this already on their specific base. So there is one base matching each of those structures. Yeah. So this is the hidden cave. This is a talking tree. Very nice custom tokens, and we have more of those. This is a king's statue, and this is a merchant's tent, for example. Okay, they go on the specific color coded base, which has a border indicating the color of the custom wooden structure. And these are the magic tower, the white one, and the Djinn wonder, the blue one. They start outside of the main board. Once player constructs them, they go and replace the respective monument badge tokens. So each one is matching one of those, as you can see. So the hidden cave has this one, and once it's built, the base and the structure indicates this badge, and this is picked up by the player to indicate that they are the ones that they build it. Now, there is also the rulebook, and this is everything in terms of components. So let's move on. Setup. The first thing that we do for the game board setup, we start by placing the game board in the center of the table, as you see in front of you. The second thing that we do is we organize essential components. We make sure victory points, trickery tokens, and potion tokens are nearby. I've used these balls just to make them easily accessible, but you can use whatever means you have for yourself. There are also the respective crystals that you see here, and we also have those in the different colors that we're going to explain later on. The third thing that we do is we have the monument badges placement. We set up the monument badges in their designated area. For example, Djinn Wonder in the cataracts that you see here. Okay, you don't have to remember anything. Everything is described in the rulebook, and it's only part of the setup. It makes also sense because you can see the matching art, but in any case, where you place those badges, it's all described in the rulebook. For example, again, the hidden cave goes over there because you can see the matching one. So all of these go in the respective slot as illustrated in the rulebook for startup. Wishing person meeples placement. We place wishing person meeples based on the cloud symbols in each area. We place wishing person meeples to the same color as the wishing person icons on each cloud. Each area, as you can see, which is divided by these yellow borders, has a cloud. It has various things like the crystals they provide, the action they provide, but also they have the wishing meeples indication on the end of the cloud, on the right side of the cloud. During setup, we find the respective color matching wishing people meeples, and we place them in this area accordingly. We do the same for each of the cloud locations, making sure to fit the correct colors with the correct icons. Caravan meeple placement. We place the caravan meeple in its starting location on the top left area of the main board, which is here, and it starts the journey indicated by dashed line. Then the sixth step is the wish deck and offer. We shuffle the wish deck, which is this one, as I've shown you before, and we reveal a number of cards to its left or beneath, depending on your setup. For me, I want to squeeze everything, so this is the wish deck, and these are the 3 cards that I revealed. And I put them close by. I also should leave some area for discard next to it. Regardless of the players, we have 3 wish cards revealed from the wish deck, and these are, in this example, these here. Then we have the caravan deck placement. We keep the caravan deck nearby for quick access. This is the caravan deck, and at the beginning of each round we're going to reveal one card and see how further the caravan meeple moves. Player setup. On this step, the genie selection. Each player chooses one of the 4 genies, each with its own special advantages. All alternative, you can assign a genie to each player randomly. The air genie. The air genie is this one, the white one. It has a respective white player board. So for this one, you get 5 blast tokens. These are the blast tokens. So you keep them close to the white wind genie player board. You also get in addition 3 action markers, the white ones, to use them to indicate which actions you're going to be taking during the main action of the game, the main phase. And you also gain 1 white aid card. Okay, we've seen each player has their matching color player aid. Okay, so they get a player aid, and then they also get on top of that the standee, and this one starts on the top left side of the board. Respectively, the water genie starts on the bottom right over here with their player board, their player aid, and they also with their respective tokens. Okay, so they have these tokens that they use, these frost lake tokens as they're called. And then we have the fire genie, which is this one, starts on the bottom left side by the volcano. They also get the player board, the player aid. Also they get their 3 action tokens, the transparent ones, and these 2 fiery clone tokens for the special asymmetric power. The last one is the earth genie, which is the green one. It has 1 nest token, which is this one that it uses. Okay, they place it nearby, their matching action tokens, the player aid, and I forgot to mention that each player have their lock token matching their player color, but it starts on the player board, hiding the center column and their icons until they're further unlocked. Now, wish card draw. Each player draws 4 random wish cards from the respective deck over here and keeps them as hidden from the other players. We proceed excluding the water genie to select out of those 1 wish and discard it on the left of their wish deck. So from the 4 ones, they're going to select only 3. Okay, keep 3, and the 1 is going to be discarded on the left of the draw pile. All they do the same, with the exception of the water genie, who has a special ability that they start with 4 cards and they keep 4 as a hand limit, as we'll see later on. Then the destiny card draw. We shuffle the destiny cards. These are these cards, the purple ones over here. These are the destiny cards. Yeah, and we deal 2 cards to each player from this deck. These have opportunities for earning victory points at the end of the game. Each player evaluates the 2 options. They select 1 card to discard face down and another one to keeping it also secret from the rest of the players, so that they can score additional victory points at the end of the game, and only at the end of the game for end game scoring. So with this setup complete, we are all set to embark on a journey of wishes and strategy and enjoy the adventure. So let's move. Goal of the game. The goal of the game in Wish is very simple. In Wish you aim to gather the most victory points, and to accomplish this you fulfill wish cards using amassed crystals matching them with the wishing person meeples of corresponding colors. Construct monuments with the meeples you collected and fulfill your destiny card, and navigate this enchanting world with precision, leveraging your mastery of wish cards, monuments and destiny objectives to claim victory as the most accomplished genie. Crystals. Crystals represent the magical energies that are drawn from the land and empower the genies to fulfill the desires of people. Nice and shiny. These are 6 types of crystals in the game, each represented by a distinct color. The ruby red, the sapphire blue, the emerald green, the citrine yellow, the diamond white, and the amethyst purple. And these are the crystals in the game. Essentially the resource. area explanation. There are 12 areas in the main board of Wish within each of the sides of the board, and these are easy to set aside because, as I mentioned, they have very thick, distinct borders. So this is one area, this is another area, this is another area, and this is another area. In each of these districts you can find a cloud icon, a white cloud icon, and within this cloud icon there is all the information you need for this area. The area, for example, let's focus here on this one, provides, first of all, a manifestability, the icon and the action of the area when you do the manifest. You have two crystals, magical crystals. This is what this district offers for genies to collect them. And then the last section of the cloud has the color of the wishing person meeples residing in this area, and we'll see how all these work together when we explain the rules. But always three pieces of information: the manifestability, the magical crystals, and the wishing meeples colors and icons. Player board. Here we have the player board and action columns. Each player board depicts the genie and several pieces of information on it. On the top left, here or here, for example, you can see, of course, a symbol with the passive ability of each genie, and each one has a special passive ability. A full explanation of each passive ability will be shown to you later, but for the moment, mark that this is different as a passive ability for each player. Then we have on the bottom right of the player board, there are 4 action columns, and I have already covered one of those, as you can see, because it starts the game with a lock icon. But there are a total of 4 columns: 1, 2, 3, 4. The same goes for each player board. There is the central one, which starts locked by placing the lock token on it, and unlocks when a player fulfills the 3rd wish, as I've mentioned. And most action columns have 2 actions, as you can see, 1, 2, divided by a line, 1, 2, 1, 2. These are different, and you can never place 2 action markers on the same action column. More on that later, but for the moment keep in mind that you can select to do either the top or the bottom from each column when you select and place those 3. In this case, I'm going to make this type of action, this type of action, and this type of action. Okay, or I could take this one or something different, but I cannot do this one selecting 2 from the same column because it's forbidden. More on that later. So, the water genie from the start of the game has options. Let me show you the example of the water genie. They start with the lock icon here, okay, and they have these columns and these options unlocked. So from the start of the game it has options to empower or manifest, which is the top one over here, empower or manifest. They can travel or fulfill, and they can fulfill or use Icy Deep's special ability, which is this one over here. Okay? Later on, once they fulfill their 3rd wish, they're going to get access to this column also. The game ending of the game. Wish is played in several rounds. In each round, all players take 1 turn. The number of rounds of each game is random, and you can never be sure how much time you have before the end game scoring. At the start of each round, you reveal a card from the caravan deck, this one over here, and this card indicates the movement of the caravan meeple across the map and the distance it covers. So, start of each round, we reveal one. In this case, none of those moving icons are lit. That means the caravan wouldn't move. But let's say another example. Okay. In this one, you see both of the icons are lit. That means it moves 2 spaces. Okay. So each time by drawing a card, you're never sure how further or fast the caravan icon meeple is going to move. Once the caravan reaches the final marked position on the map, designated by the X over here, the current round becomes the game's final round. Following the conclusion of this round, we proceed to resolve the endgame scoring, which we'll explain later on. But keep in mind that given the unpredictable nature of the deck's draw, the precise termination of the game remains uncertain, urging players to act swiftly. And we'll see more insight into the caravan's movement later on. For 2 and 3 players, there are no rule changes in any part of the game. We'll perform the player's setup steps only for genies that are in play, ignoring the 4th one that was not selected from the players. The first player in turn order, the last person to have who had a wish fulfilled, is the first player. Alternatively, determine the first player randomly and proceed to play in a clockwise fashion. And last, the round and turn overview. At the start of each round, a caravan card is drawn and the caravan possibly moves according to the card immediately. Then each player takes their turn in order, and during the turn each player may assign up to 3 action markers, 2 action symbols, and perform them. After a player performs all their actions, the next player in turn order takes their turn, and so on. Once all players have taken their turn, the round concludes, and the next round begins with the draw of a new card, and so on, so on. Actions. So let's focus on the different actions and the actions explanation. There are 5 actions in the game, which are included on the player aid, and you can find them here. You have the different 5 actions, which are travel, empower, manifest, fulfill, and a special action for each genie, and this action is going to be explained later on. Okay, so all these icons are here, the action icons. So let's start one by one, checking what each action does. Travel. Travel is the first icon you see here, which helps the player to move the genie to an adjacent area. You move your genie to an adjacent area. Adjacent is each area that shares a border with the one that you currently are. For example, if I take this as one of my 3 up to 3 actions that I can take during my turn, based on selecting on the column, again to remind you that when I start, okay, not with the red one, but with the blue one, let's make it correct. You're going to select selecting one of the 2 in each of those, okay? So these are, let's say, my plan, what I'm trying to do. I can take up to 3, so if my selection is move, I perform it with the way that I explained. So basically, I can move from the location that I am in an adjacent one. So from here, I can move here, or from here, I can move here, or from here I can move here. All of these are legit movements, because you move from your current location to an adjacent one by means of a border touching across. So let's say I moved here. This stands for the whole area which is surrounded by the yellow border. Okay, so anywhere on this, don't be misguided by the dashed line. This is just the way the caravan meeple moves. The next action is empower, with this icon over here. You gain the area's crystals. So when you do the empower, you gain the 2 crystals that are depicted on the cloud area of the district that you are sitting. You place those crystals on your player board. So in this case, if I would do the empower, this area would give me 1 yellow and 1 red crystal. I would take them from the supply, 1 yellow and 1 red, and simply add them on my player board together with the rest of the crystals that I'm collecting. That's extremely simple. Third action is the manifest. When you perform the manifest action, you can choose one of the following 2 options. And again, this is the action of the manifest. You can either use the area's ability or trade with the caravan if the camel token is at the district where you are located. So, one of the 2. You can either use the ability of the area that you're in. In this case, let's say I'm again the blue Djinn. That means that I'm in this area, so I can use this action. If I was here, I could use this action, the action of the area. If I was here, I would use this action, and so on. You get the idea. But I can either do the use of the action of the district where I'm located, or instead of that, trade with the caravan. And for trading with the caravan, I need to be in the same area as the caravan meeple. The caravan is traveling across this, okay, at the beginning of each round. So if I am at the same location as the caravan meeple, then I may pay what the caravan requests on the card that I drew at the beginning of the round to gain what the caravan offers. At the bottom of each caravan card, players can see the trade that the caravan offers for the current round. So let's say at the beginning of this round, the card that we drew was this one. That means the caravan didn't move, so it's still here. And you see that if you offer exactly 1 green, 1 purple and 1 white crystals, then it awards you 4 victory points. In this case, I would take those crystals, which I have them, give them back to the supply, and I would also pick up 4 victory points tokens and put them on my player board. The next action is the fulfill with this icon over here. Fulfill a wish or build a monument. You either choose to fulfill a wish when you activate this icon or build a monument. So let's see how this works. When you perform this, and let's say you decide to fulfill a wish, you play a wish card from your hand. Again, I remind you, these are the wish cards. You have them in your hand. We start with some of them. We acquire more during the course of the game. And these depict the different wishes from the people in this kingdom. So let's say I'm, again, the blue Djinn, and I want to fulfill a wish. To perform this action, a player needs to pay the crystal cost specified on the wish card. So in this case, if this is my wish card, the cost, as you can see, and we're going to make the anatomy and the breakdown of the card later on, but it has 2 purple and 1 yellow crystals required to fulfill the wish. So we need to pay the number of crystals as indicated on the wish card. And there must be a wishing person meeple of the same color as the wish card on the area, the district of the player. In this case, it's a purple wishing meeple, so you can see it's over there, it's available. I'm in the same area, the same district. I have the crystals required from the wish card, so I can fulfill it. I spend the crystals, returning them to the supply, and then since there is a matching meeple there, I fulfill the wish. Once a wish card has been played, you position it beneath your player board and place a corresponding wishing person on top of it. So basically I place it at the bottom of my player board like that, and then on top of my player board I take and place the wishing person on that card to indicate that this wishing person meeple has had their wish fulfilled, and I have the card and the actual meeple matching below my player board. Subsequently, right after playing a wish card, you draw another card from the offer of wishes, as you can see here. So let's say I want to draw this one into my hand, and then I unveil a fresh card from the deck and add it to the existing offer. If the just played wish card features an instant ability, I resolve it in this juncture, and we'll see further insights on the wish cards down the road. Remember, when I fulfill, I can either fulfill a wish or build a monument. So build a monument. If you're in an area that has a monument badge, like this one in this case, my blue Djinn is over here and it has a monument badge available, then you may build the monument by using the wishing person meeples that you have collected by fulfilling various wishes through the course of the game. You take the badge in front of you, next to your player board, and place the monument base in its area. So I take the badge, I have the required meeples from previous wishes fulfilled. In this case, below my player board I have a green, a white and another green. Okay, so I take the badge, and then I place the monument base on this specific area, the matching base. Okay, so I place it there in the exact location where the badge was located, and on top of that I place the monument on the base itself. So this is going to go here. In addition, on the monument base I place the wishing meeples that were needed for the monument and the monument meeple itself. That means that they are going to go there respectively. And with this, I would conclude my build a monument step. So through the course of the game, more and more monuments will be erected on the main board. Special action. You activate the special action on the Djinn, and the Djinn has unique action that is described in the player aids on for each player, and also in the rulebook itself. So these are included respectively on each play rate, you see the special actions they have, okay, the passive and the active. So, following that, let's move to the Djinn abilities. First of all, Djinn asymmetrical abilities. Each Djinn has different passive abilities and special actions, as well as different combinations of actions in each column. First of all, we start with the water Djinn, which is this one. So let's focus on their respective player board over here. We see that it has this passive ability on the top left, which is here. Ocean's Plenty, a passive ability, maximum hand size of 4 wish cards. You do not discard a wish card at the start of the game, and you have 4 wish cards in your hand for the entire game, which is really, really cool. Then there is this special ability, the active ability, the Ice Dips. You place a Frost Lake token on a wish card in the offer, so you take one of those and you place them on one of the wish cards from the offer, okay? And once you've done that, whenever a wish card with a Frost Lake token leaves the offer for any reason, you gain 1 crystal. If more than one wish card with a Frost Lake leaves the offer within the Sunmill's manifest ability, for example, you gain 1 crystal for each one. If it was drawn by an opponent, you gain 2 crystals instead. In each case, each crystal gained must match the crystal required to fulfill the wish card that was we're discussing. So that's the water Djinn. Let's move now to the earth Djinn, which is this one, the green one. Here you can see on the top left we have a passive ability, which is this one, and it's called Providence. Whenever you manifest, after concluding the manifest action, you place 1 crystal on any color on your nest token. And this is your nest token over here on the side of your player board. I place it here for convenience. You're going to have different crystals here. Let me just show you. Okay, so you're going to have a collection of crystals here. Because whenever you take the manifest as a passive ability, you place 1 crystal from the supply on this nest token. Now, when you take your special harvest ability, you gain all crystals on from your nest, and you place them on your player board. So this is going to be, let's say, sideways of your player board. And whenever you take your special ability, the harvest, you take all of those crystals and you place them on your supply, on your personal board for your supply. Keep in mind that when you have crystals on your nest, these can never be spent from you, given, or stolen from other players, as long as they're on the nest. You have to perform the harvest ability in order to make them yours, but also you're going to get quite a few once you do that, and this is a very good ability. For the fire Djinn, we have the passive ability, which is the omnipotent passive ability. You may empower, manifest, or fulfill from an area with one of your fairy clone tokens, one of those, which you place on the board. And as an action, special action that you have it here and here, for example, whenever you empower, manifest, or fulfill from an area, whenever you are on an area, you can place or move a fairy clone token anywhere on the map. So when you take this special action, you can place one fairy clone token, let's say here, okay? Or you can move it to another location, let's say here, when you take this special action. Now, whenever you empower, manifest, or fulfill from an area with one of those tokens, okay, then what happens is you are able to do that instead of other actions, and then you remove the fairy clone token, and then you have to place it again. But this allows you to have the possibility on different areas on the board to be able to empower, manifest, or fulfill from one area with one of those tokens, and it gives a lot of flexibility. And last but not least, we have the Air Djinn, which is this one. It has a passive ability, the Sky Blessing, which is this one. You may trade 2 crystals on any color, of any color or colors, to gain a crystal of any other color. Normally the ratio is 3:1 for the rest of the players, and for you it's 2:1, so this gives a lot of flexibility as well. And the special ability that you have, which is this one, it's called the Cloud Bearer, the active ability. You place or move a Wind Blast token, one of those, okay, on an area on the map. So you could be here, And you could be placing or moving, no matter where you are, you can place or move one wind blow token. But the ability of this is whenever you move into or start your turn in an area with a wind blast token, and you have quite a few of those to place during your possession, when you move or start your area there, then you travel for free. You may travel for free, and you may do this any number of times each round. So this gives you the ability to travel easier, faster and better on the map compared to the other Djinns. We've seen the asymmetric abilities. Now let's see the Djinn symmetrical abilities. First of all, we have the lock token that you see in the center column of each of the player boards. When a player fulfills the third wish, they remove this lock token. Okay, they remove it, and then they have access to an additional column of actions. The player still performs 3 actions by using their 3 markers, 1, 2, 3, okay, the same here. When they move it, they still use those 3 action tokens, but now they have more options to choose from, and they have more flexibility. You can use the unlocked column the same turn you unlocked it, if you have remaining actions, of course, to use. Another symmetrical ability for everybody is that the trade, which each Djinn may trade 3 crystals of any color to gain 1 crystal of any other color, and they can do this as a free action on the or any number of turns they want during their turn. And keep in mind that the Sky Blessing, the Djinns allow to do it on a more profitable ratio of a 2-to-1, as we have seen before. Now let's see the anatomy of the cards. First of all, we have the wish cards, which are these here. Again, this is the back of a wish card. This is the the workhorse of the game. We use the wish cards to fulfill wishes of the different wishing meeple people. So let's see the anatomy. Let's focus on this one. First of all, we have the name of the card. This is called connections. This is forgiveness. This is a child. This is a steady income. Then we have the crystal cost to fulfill the wish. In this case, we need 3 blue. In this case, we need 2 yellow. Okay, on the top right is the cost to fulfill the wish. Here you see on the top left the victory points that are gained when fulfilled. So when I fulfill the connections, I'm going to gain 2 victory points from the supply. If I fulfill a steady income, I'm going to gain 2 victory points from the supply. You also have the type bonus instant or ongoing. You see here it says instant, instant, and here's an ongoing, and here's an instant. Okay, more on that later, but keep in mind that also you have the type of the wish, which is depicted here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a total of 6 different unique types of wish cards. So let me show you the additional 2. A total of 6 different type of cards. You focus on this icon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different type of wish cards. So we have love wishes, as you can see here. Love wishes need a red wishing person due to the red color. Okay, we need a red wishing person meeple to be fulfilled, and the symbol is this heart over here. We have the power wishes. We have the chair here, the throne, or however you want to call it, the position. These wishes need a blue wishing person meeple to be fulfilled, and this is the respective symbol. We have the revenge type of wishing card, which is this one. They require a purple wishing meeple person to be fulfilled, and this is their symbol, the knife. We also have the green one, which is the health wish, which needs a green wishing person meeple to be fulfilled, and this is the symbol. And the last one is the treasure chest. This is the health. Sorry, this is the wealth with the treasure chest. This is the health. So it shows the health icon. So this is the wealth, which requires a white wishing person meeple to be fulfilled, and the symbol is a treasure chest. So wealth and health. Keep in mind that there are 6 in total, as I mentioned, and I just realized I forgot to mention the 6th one, which is this one, the yellow, which requires a yellow wishing person meeple to be fulfilled, and these are the respective symbol. Wish cards are also divided into 2 categories, as we've seen. We have, based on the type of bonus they provide, we have the instant with the thunder on the right, and the ongoing with the infinite symbol. Wish cards can provide an instant bonus like this one, or that one, or this one, and these are immediately resolved after being played. Wish cards with an ongoing bonus, like this one, provide a steady bonus whenever an event occurs, and each ongoing wish card text determines when the bonus is given. In this case, whenever you perform a fulfill or build action here, you may spend a crystal of any color to gain a crystal of any other color you wish, and this is an ongoing benefit. The Destiny cards. This is the back of the Destiny card, and this is how they look like. So let's see their anatomy. Keep in mind that 2 Destiny cards are given at the start of the game to each player, and then each player keeps one and discards the other. Both of them are face down. The Destiny card the players keep provides a way to gain additional victory points at the end of the game. So the anatomy is very simple. We have the title of the card, Stolen Goods, Open Sesame, Royalty, or whatever, there are quite a few. And then in the box you see the text of the Destiny card. For example, Stolen Goods, you gain 60 victory points if you build the Merchant's Tent Monument and fulfilled at least 1 revenge wish. So you need to do those 2 in order to gain an additional 6 victory points. Then we have the Caravan cards. I remind you, this is the back of a Caravan card. It has this green background and the camel on the back illustrated. A trade caravan traverses the map in each game, and Djinns can trade with it to receive crystals or even victory points and end its journey. Also signals the end of the game. At the start of each round we draw 1 and reveal 1. This card is active until the new card is drawn at the beginning of the next round, and each card shows if and how far the caravan meeple moves on the market route, the dust line on the main board. The caravan meeple does not move if no travel icons are lit, like in this case. It moves 1 space, meaning 1 distance, to the next adjacent blue line when it's 1 icon lit, or 2 spaces when 2 icons are lit, like in this case. Also, the iconography is very nice because it shows that there is no movement. That's why the caravan is slipping, the camel. 1 movement, steady speed, and rushing with 2 movement points. Very, very nice illustration. At the bottom of the card there are also the trade offers from the caravan this round. The trade with the caravan is indicated here, and it shows opportunities for the player to gain additional crystals or victory points. To trade with the caravan, players must use the manifest action while in the same area with the caravan, and the first column shows that the genie must give to the caravan, and the second one shows what it will get back in return. So in this case the genie will give them 1 green, 1 purple and 1 white crystal, and then they will get in return 4 victory points. Okay, or in here they're going to give 1 crystal and they will gain 2 crystals of their choice in return, and so on. Very interesting, and can make a difference when timed correctly. Now, I should mention that there are map areas, and manifest abilities are included on the main board. Each area of the map provides a different set of crystals to be gained when the empower action is performed, and a different bonus when the manifest action is performed. An explanation can be found on the play rates of each player. So just to show it here, and again, you see these are the icons that you see on the left side of each cloud. Okay, so over there. So let's see them quickly together. Just as a summary, starting from the top to the left, you focus on the icon, which again is found on the left side of each of the cloud. So let's see how they work. We have, first of all, the Dark Temple, the first one. You draw a wish card from the discard pile, and you discard a wish card. Okay, so it's this one. Then the second one, this one, it's the Cataracts. You gain 2 crystals of any color, and each other player gains 1 crystal of the color. And this is at the Cataracts, yeah, on the top. Now it's off screen. The third one over here is the Palace Gardens. You draw a wish card and you discard a wish card. The fourth one, it shows this icon here. So you gain a potion token. This one is the Refresh the Offer. Then you draw a wish card and you discard a wish card. This is a trade with the caravan, and so on. You see, for example, this is a gain 1 crystal of any color. This is a look at the opponent's hand. You may swap a wish card from your hand with one of theirs. This is very interesting, the teleport. You can go anywhere on the map, and this is conveniently located in the center of the map so that you can go further away. This provides the opportunity to gain 1 victory point. This spend 1 crystal to gain 2 crystals of any other color. and then this one, gain 1 trickery token. So all of these are found again on the, or this one, I think I didn't mention this one, gain 2 crystals of any color in each other player. Yeah, I mentioned this one as well. So everything, you don't have to remember the icons, what they do, it's very conveniently listed on the player aid. Manifest abilities. First of all, we have the potion tokens, these over here. A Djinn can have any number of potion tokens, and only 1 potion token can be used each turn. A Djinn may use a potion token during their turn after they used all of their action markers to perform a 4th action. This action can be on an action column that is already been activated, but not an action column that performed by another action marker. You can use only 1 potion per turn. That means, for example, let me show you how this is going to be in practice. Let's say that again, the blue player, they have used from each column 1 action like that, yeah. And let's say also their central column is blocked, okay. So they can spend 1 potion, not more than 1 potion, to perform an icon on the same column, but not the same one. So I cannot perform this one again. I can do that, or that, or that, because normally I cannot do that without potions, okay? I can only do 1 from each column, but not 2 in the same column. But with the potion, it gives me flexibility because I can go and do a second one. So this is how potions work in practice. And the next important token is this one. It's the trickery tokens. A Djinn can have any number of trickery tokens. A trickery token can be spent immediately before the Djinn fulfills a wish to change the color of the wishing person meeple in the Djinn's area. This might greatly help a Djinn fulfill a wish they desire without having to search for a specific wishing person. After fulfilling the wish, the Djinn claims the wishing person meeple as normal, and the wishing person meeple is its original color. The color change happens only for the fulfill action, and you can use 1 trickery token per turn, and this gives quite a few options when you want to do specific things and you're not getting the combination of colors you want in the course of the game. Monuments. Monuments are grand structures that signify the aspirations of Djinns, a testament to their enduring legacy. Djinns depend on their dedicated followers to make these dreams a reality. By fulfilling wishes, followers rally in support of their Djinn's leaders. And as the numbers swell, the monument arrives for a Djinn to unite their faithful devotees and initiate the construction of a splendid monument. First of all, we have the monument badges, which are starting face up on the game. The game starts with 6 of those in the areas where indicated on the setup, and this is where the specific monument can be built. The monument badges have the following piece of information. First of all, have the amount of victory points that they will be gained at the end of the game. It has the monument meeple, and it has the cost of wishing people meeples needed to build this monument, okay? So in theory, when you build, we've seen how this is built, this is going to be replaced by the base, the meeple, and 2 respective matching wishing people meeples, like that, okay? The same like we did with the rest. Building a monument. To build a monument, the genie needs to be in an area with a monument badge, so the genie needs to be present, okay, here. And of course, they need to have the required wishing person meeples obtained from the fulfilling wish cards. You perform the fulfill action to make the monument badge, replace it with the monument base, and place the monument along with the required wishing people meeples on top of it. Keep in mind that there are still, after being erected, wishing meeples on the different monuments, because this is how we do it at this stage. Wishing person meeples that are placed on the monument base remain available for fulfilling a wish that of that specific wishing person color, and when a meeple is utilized in this manner, the player who built the monument gains 1 victory point. However, if the player fulfilling the wish card is also the one who built the monument, then they do not receive an additional victory point. Game score and end game scoring. When the caravan reaches the final space, here where the X is indicated, that signifies the last round of the game. When all players take their last turn, the end game scoring triggers. During the end game scoring, you do the following steps for each player. You add the victory points of each fulfilled wish card. So the wish cards that the players have fulfilled below their player board, Yeah, they grant them the respective victory points. Second, you add the victory points you have accumulated through the course of the game. Through different actions, all the victory points that you have accumulated grant you victory points. Third, you add the victory points you might have from ongoing wishes that you haven't fulfilled. That you have fulfilled but not actually placed. You add the victory points from the badges you have claimed. These are these ones for erecting the specific monuments, or this one. And the fifth one is you reveal the destiny card that you had. Each player, I remind you, starts with one of those. And you see if you have managed to accomplish the end game scoring and gain the additional victory points. The player with the most victory points is the absolute Djinn of the game and the winner of the game. And in case of a tie, the winner is the player with the most monument badges. If there is also a tie, the player is the one with the most crystals. If there is also a tie, the winner is the player with the most wishes fulfilled. And if it's also a tie, unlikely, but if so, then all players share the tied victory. So there you go. This is how you play Wish. Let's go move up. So there you have it. This is Wish. This is a game that, first of all, I have to admit that it's captivating in terms of table presence and aesthetics. This is a game that has very vivid colors. It is very, let's say, joyful, very energetic, very vibrant. It really is like a waterfall of colors, and I think it's really good fit to the game. I think the selection of Miko, one of my favorite artists here, with this specific theme and this specific universe, let's say, I think it's a great fit. Now the production is obviously really affected from the great artwork and the great visual and looks, but let's set this aside for the moment and let's focus on the gameplay. The gameplay is very simple. You just open one card at the beginning of the game, as you have seen, and this dictates if the caravan, which is like the timer of the game, is going to move 1, 0 or 2 spaces. So you're never sure how many rounds the game lasts, and that makes actually a nice mini stressful, I shouldn't say stressful, I should say a mini portion of the game that you have to rush in order to trying to make the best out of what you're planning to do, because especially after the half of the game it may move faster or slower, but you never know, so you have to plan ahead and you have to make like small secure jumps in terms of strategy and turns, let's say. Now, in addition to that, what is interesting and very exciting in my opinion is the fact that you have the free option, you're completely free to select your 3 action tokens and place them in the different options in each of the column. You can never put 2 action tokens on the same column, so you have either or. So you can have a very interesting combination of, let's say, what mixture of actions is going to be the 3 actions I'm going to use. On top of that, having potions is really important because they are very powerful and they can allow for a 4th action, and it can make a difference when it's really important because you're trying to grab those matching wishing meeples from by fulfilling wishes from the different locations from other players, because if they have them, it's more, I should say, difficult to trying to get specifically a purple one or specifically an orange one or a green one or whatever if too many people are looking for this, and specifically also if they haven't constructed a monument which brings it back on the board, as you have seen. So this brings a lot of not tension, I should say. It's not that it's tense, but it's you know, a quick race to do what you want before, especially other people do it and get what you want, and then they can slow you a bit down. On top of that, there is an interesting asymmetrical powers of the Djinns, and this is really interesting. They're very different. They have powerful abilities that they're very they give a bit of edge, a bit of advantage, I should say, on one category based on which one you're playing, and they're all different, and it's very interesting to try all of them. Also the game offers a lot of options because there are always different actions that you can do, so you're never stuck or hidden in a corner or thrown back. There are always things to do. It's just if you did want to do something very specifically, you know, someone can mess up and there is a bit of a take that element in that, but I should really focus and emphasize on how much I enjoyed the asymmetrical powers, because this is really interesting. Also, the ongoing abilities that you get from, you know, by fulfilling wishes is important, but not to mention, it gives also possibilities to you based on if you are chasing specific opportunities. Like, for example, the caravan, when it's moving, you can either do trade with it and get some interesting bonus points, but you should also focus on the back of your mind to fulfill the endgame scoring, which grants much more victory points as well, and it's hidden from the other players. So this end of game scoring has a bit of I should say, extra excitement for the end. And overall, it's a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed the game. Very simple in terms of rules, which makes it also accessible and easy to throw on the table, easy to explain, and easy enough, but interesting and, I should say, rewarding enough on the same time for everyone to enjoy. I can see this being a fit for both casual players, but also for more experienced players, because it offers like a sweet balance in both ways. And overall, I think it's very pleasant and satisfying experience. I highly recommend it. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to add a link in the description of the video so you can find out more about Wish.